YouTube is live right now. Welcome to this WeShape coaching call. Give us a minute. We're going to get live on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. But while you're waiting, if you're joining us already, the goal of this call is to do a Q&A to help you feel better in your body. So if you have any questions, post comments. Somebody from our team is going to be taking your comments, your questions, putting them in this sheet right here. I'm going to answer as many as I possibly can for the next 40 minutes. So, we got anybody else live yet? Facebook is live too. Welcome to the call, Facebook. We got YouTube on here already. We're trying to get TikTok and as well. If you guys are just, TikTok's live. Welcome, TikTok. Give us just a second to get everything live. If you guys are joining right now, we're doing a Q&A call for WeShape. So our goal is to help people feel better in their bodies and about their bodies. And one of the things I like to do is teach people how to move their bodies the way it was meant to move so you can actually feel good in your body again. So if you have any questions about, exercises that you think you should be doing, stretches you could do for particular issues, you have aches, pains, and injuries you want to overcome, post your questions in the comments right now. Someone from our team is going to be going through all the different feed platforms and trying to pull your questions out, putting them right in front of my eyes so I can start doing a Q&A today. And why are we doing this Q&A? Well, we're celebrating something big. We just wrapped up our last 30-day feel-good challenge. Now, this is a challenge that we take our members through where we try to teach them the real foundational elements of WeShape. I'm going to touch on all those elements right now today as well. But let's see if we got everybody live yet. We're good on Instagram now too? All right. Okay. Officially welcome everyone on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to the WeShape Q&A call. So like I was saying, if you guys have any questions, right now the best thing you can do is post your question in the comments below. If you guys don't know me, my name is Coach Tyler. I'm the head coach and co-founder of WeShape, where our goal is to help you feel better in your body and about your body. And why are we doing this Q&A call right now? Well, we're doing this Q&A call because we just wrapped up our 30-day Feel Good Challenge. Now, these are challenges that we host once every few months where we bring people through what we call the WeShape way. Now, what is the WeShape way? The WeShape way is where we get you to focus on showing up for your workouts as an act of self-care rather than self-judgment, okay? So we start by focusing you on movement. Stop exercising, start showing up and doing movements that make your body feel amazing. Next, we start to identify your why, your intention. Why are you actually showing up here? Most people say weight loss, but that's not inspiring enough. And what you got to do is ask lots of questions when you're starting to think about why you're showing up. And when you keep asking the question why, eventually you get to a much more meaningful and deep goal that actually gives you the motivation you need to stick to the program that you're on. We also spend time integrating you with our community, where it's just a supportive group of people who are trying to get away from this toxic weight loss culture of people telling you you have to change the way you look in order to feel good about yourself. And instead, we try to support each other in accepting who we are right now, appreciating our bodies right now, and showing up for our bodies in these workouts as that act of self-care rather than as an act of trying to change how we look so we can finally feel happy inside. And the final step is we examine those beliefs, because let's get real, the fitness industry for the last 50 plus years has made a lot of people insecure. I'm one of them. Probably you are too. The reason why is because when they tell you that you should feel lousy about the way you look, then that makes you want to buy their products, right? So at WeShape, we're doing the exact opposite. We're saying, forget it. We're not going to do that. We're going to tell people you are amazing as you are right now. And you are worth it as you are right now. And we're going to teach you the positive psychology that you need to find intrinsic motivation, motivation from within, to show up for your workouts as an act of self-care rather than an act of self-judgment. And the best way I can think to describe this is when you show up for your workouts the same way you show up for brushing your teeth, right? You all brush your teeth, right? You take care of your teeth, okay? You want to do that because you want your teeth to be pearly white and you want them to look good. You don't want to have to go to the dentist and get all these cavities filled, right? So when you show up for your workout because you want your body to feel good, because you want your body to be flexible and strong and balanced and coordinated, that's when you know you're showing up to your workouts from the right place. So again, if you guys have questions, post them in the comments below right now. My team's going to go through and grab these questions, put them in this doc. My goal today is to answer as many questions as possible to help you feel good in your body, because what a better way to celebrate the end of our 30-day Feel Good Challenge than helping you feel good in your body today, right now. So I'm going to get started. We got a question from YouTube. I have a bad hip and I walk with a walker because of spinal stenosis. That is a bummer. I'm sorry about that. Is it possible for me to get... So I think the biggest misnomer that people go through when they're approaching a fitness program is thinking to themselves, I'm too injured, I'm too inflexible, I'm too old, I'm too inexperienced. Whatever the I'm too is for you is just a reason for you to not do something for yourself. The reality is we can all move our bodies in one way or another, okay? And whatever we're capable of doing, well, that's the thing that we should be focusing on. Particularly for this issue, though, I want to give you more than that. When you have spinal stenosis, this is when the spine compresses and the discs between the spine get compressed, and you end up having usually issues where the nerves innervate the spine and come out into different areas of the body. So you end up having issues with your ability to have motor control, strength, etc. One of the things you can do is decompress your spine. Decompression of the spine is really important when it comes to things like spinal stenosis. Now, probably the best way to decompress your spine is to have something where you can reach up, grab on with your arms, and drop your center of mass down so that you're pulling on your spine. You're letting your lower body pull on the spine and lengthen the spine. If you don't have that, another great option is, I'm going to use the couch here and pretend it's a kitchen sink, but if you have a kitchen sink, walk over to the kitchen sink, grab the rim of the kitchen sink, and just bring your body back like this and let your whole body traction, trying to pull down from the tailbone. You're trying to create space in the spine. Now, if I had spinal stenosis or if I had back pains and injuries, I would do this type of thing every single day, ideally twice a day, 3 times a day, for 30 seconds to a minute to decompress the spine, create more space between the discs, and create a healthier spine overall. Now, you're also in a walker. Now, this is an important thing. The most important thing we can maintain as we grow older, if we want to make sure that we don't get injured and can't recover from it, is our balance and coordination, okay? The number one reason why people can't recover when they get older is they fall, they break their hip, they break their knee, they break something, and they never end up recovering from that because their body can't heal as fast as it needs to. So balance is key. Balance is key. Balance is key. So for everybody out there who is growing older and wanting to maintain their balance and coordination, let me give you some ideas right now. And if you're this person right here who is can apply these ideas and just keep it really light. So imagine if you got yourself a chairs or walkers or something for support. What you can do to work on your balance is very simple. Grab onto something for support, slowly shift the weight to one foot. As you shift the weight, make sure your foot, your belly button, and your nose are all in one line. A lot of people will do this like this, but if your nose and your belly button aren't vertical, then you're having a problem here because you're compensating through your spine or through your hips. So the whole body just shifts vertically over the foot like this, okay? Then when you're holding those handles, find balance on one foot, and it might be really hard. It might make your calf tired or your foot tired. Go slow. If all you got to do is lift the toe like this, that's totally fine too. If you can lift the foot all the way up, let go with one hand, and then see if you can maintain that balance. The last step would be to take the other hand, put all 5 fingers on top of the chair, on top of something, and use that for support if you need it. But over the course of the next few weeks, what you can do is lift a finger week 1, lift a finger week 2, lift a finger week 3, lift a finger week 4. The goal of this is to get you really comfortable being able to stand and balance on one foot with the goal of being able to work up to 60 seconds of a single leg balance. That might sound like a lot for you right now, but remember, this is a slow process. So if all you do is say to yourself, I'm going to shift my center of gravity over my foot, and I'm going to stand on it as best I can for 60 seconds, and you do that once a day, every day, and you slowly over time work away the support you need from your lower foot, from your other hand, from the other hand, from your fingertips, and eventually be able to stand on that one foot, man, that's going to serve you so well when it comes to strengthening your balance, your proprioception, your ability to move your body through space well, and just preventing you from having these injuries that could really be detrimental to your long-term health. So I hope that was helpful, right? Let's stretch the spine. Let's decompress it so you can get rid of that spinal stenosis. And also, anybody out there should be working on your balance, right? So if you can work on practicing your balance, 1 minute on the left foot, 1 minute on the right foot every single day, it's amazing. I got one final tip for you on that. This is one of my favorite ways to do it if you're not needing a lot of extra support. If you have okay balance, is while you're brushing your teeth, usually those things have a 2-minute timer, right? Brush your teeth for 1 minute while standing on the left side, and then 1 minute while standing on the right side. When we do that, we have a habit that we've already exists in our life, that we already have, and we anchor a new habit to it. If you do that every single day, oh my God, your balance is going to get so much better because you already brush your teeth, right? So add this to that habit mix right there. Okay, let me get a sip of water. My throat's a little scratchy today, and then we're going to go on to the next one here. Okay, if you guys are just joining us, post your questions in the comments below. We're doing a Q&A today to celebrate the end of our Feel Good Challenge because what's better than helping more people feel good in their body, right? Okay, got a question from TikTok. I have weak ankles. What movements do you suggest to strengthen my ankles? I got a fantastic movement for you. The good news is weak ankles can be fixed really fast, okay? So my favorite movement is this. It's called a calf rock. So what you're going to do is sit at the edge of a chair, and you're going to bring your toes to your nose until you feel these muscles right here on the front of your shins firing. Then you're going to drive your toes into the ground, come all the way up on your tippy toes until you feel the arches of your feet and your calves firing at the same time. And then you're going to go back and forth. Squeeze here, toes to nose, squeeze here, toes pointed away, and you're gonna come back and forth. And the goal would be to do this for anywhere between probably 90 seconds to 2 minutes until you feel these muscles down here getting pretty pumped, okay? This is gonna help create range of motion and strength in those joints, better blood flow to your ankles as well. And if it's too easy for you, you can do this for 90 seconds, 2 minutes out the gates. Well, guess what? I got a solution for you. All you gotta do is this. Stand up this time, and you're gonna go toes to nose, find your balance, stand all the way up on your toes as much as you can. You do the same thing, working up to 2 minutes of calf rocks, just like this. And once you're able to do 2 minutes like this, your ankles are gonna be a lot stronger. But if somebody out there is saying, I still want stronger ankles, then I got another step for you, okay? This is called a progression, where we take something from beginner to intermediate to advanced movements, and along the way, you build more strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination. So the final step would be transition to 1 foot. You might need to have some support outside for this one, but you go toes to nose, come all the way up on those toes, squeeze both sides, toes to nose, come all the way up on those toes. And this one you want to do for 90 seconds to 2 minutes on each side. If you can do that, you're going to have plenty strong ankles. Now, one more thing for the ankles. Sometimes ankles get really tight, and it's really good to practice the ability to put load on those ankles in strange positions, okay? So what's the most common ankle injury? It's this one. Boop, roll their ankle to the side, right? Why do we injure our ankles? We don't train our ankles to have flexibility here, strength here, integrity here, right? And we end up walking down the street, we slip off a curb, we step in a pothole, whatever, and we roll our ankle like this, and it causes, injury to the outside of the ankle, torn ligaments, etc. So one of my favorite things to do to help strengthen the overall resiliency of the ankle is to work through those ranges of motion and put a little pressure on them. So watch, you start by this. This foot goes to the outside, you turn that blade of the foot there, and you're just gonna slowly put pressure on the ankle. This can be very little, so I can show you even closer. Watch, let me come a little closer here. How's that? Good? Okay, so to the outside and then back. And all you're gonna do is just slowly be able to put a little more pressure, create a little more flexibility on the ankle. You can do one ankle at a time to start building that strength, right? And then eventually what you wanna be able to do is you wanna be able to can I jump on the sides of my ankles, right? So that's crazy, that's probably a long way out. But the more you work on this, the more you work on the ability to put pressure on there, you can eventually lighten the load on your other foot. You can eventually put your whole body weight on that. That's gonna slowly over time strengthen those tendons, ligaments, and create flexibility and strength through a full range of motion in an area where a lot of people end up getting really weak on their ankles as well. So there's a cool little movement for you that you can practice over time if you also have weak ankles. All right. Woo! We're already about 12 minutes into this live call. Holy cow, these things go by so dang fast. So if you guys are joining us right now, we're doing a Q&A live. My name's Coach Tyler. I'm the head coach and co-founder of WeShape, which is a workout program that is trying to change how and why we exercise. How? Well, instead of giving you 10,000 workouts that aren't a good fit for you, we want to give you one workout that actually was. So we've built a software that can create a personalized at-home workout just for you, where every movement was selected for you based on your goals and your capabilities. And the why we exercise, well, most people show up for their workouts because they want to change the way their body looks. They want to lose weight, they want to tone this, they want to do that, right? And this is an industry that I really now believe has just not served us at all. It's a toxic industry that makes people feel horrible about themselves, and they do that because they want you to buy their products. And instead of doing that, at WeShape, we want to tell you this. We want to teach you how to appreciate your body right now. And when you appreciate your body right now and you show up for your workouts from the space of I want to care for my body rather than I want to change who I am or how I look, well, guess what? That gives you the intrinsic motivation, the internal motivation that you need to be able to be consistent with your workouts, which is what's actually important when you want to look at your body feeling amazing for the long term. So that's what we do at WeShape, which, by the way, if you guys are watching this and you're enjoying this call, we are hosting a special promo starting today, 65% off any of our WeShape memberships. So if you are on YouTube and Facebook, I believe our team is going to put a link in the comments right there that you can click on. Check out our 65% off deal. This gives you unlimited follow-along personalized home workouts. It gives you access to live Q&A calls like this with me, but they're going to be Zoom calls, so you can literally unmute. We can talk face-to-face, make sure I know the problems that you're facing, and try to help you fix them. It's also giving you tons of different stuff, access to our community, free challenges, et cetera, et cetera. So again, if you're on YouTube and Facebook, click the link in those comments right there. If you are on TikTok or Instagram, head on over to our profile, click that link. It'll take you to this page. We're going to run this promo for the next couple days. So click that link, check it out, come join us at WeShape, and I really hope you do because our workouts are the best, and I get to see you on live calls, which is really fun. Okay, let's jump into some more questions. If you guys have questions, post them in the comments. My team's putting them on here for me. So we got Facebook. Any ideas to get back in shape after piriformis injury. So, excuse me, the piriformis is kind of a muscle deep inside the hip here that involves this hip external rotation and a little bit of hip flexion right here. And the piriformis is one of these muscles that when it gets injured, it can be really, really bothersome to us. Okay. Now, when we injure our body, when we have an acute injury or a stab or we tweak a muscle or something like that, one of the things we have to be really aware of is that the muscles that surround that sometimes turn off and then above or below kind of overcompensate for it, right? So when the piriformis gets off, you might notice yourself compensating by opposite side. Maybe you're noticing that your core and your spinal erectors, the muscles in your back, are working harder, or the muscles kind of around the hip and around the thighs are working harder. So one of the things you want to do is you want to restore function to the lower body, okay? And what does that mean when we're talking about the hip and the piriformis? My favorite movement in the world is called the drinking bird, and slowly working up to being able to do this on one leg. I'm going to show you a progression. Now, if you've never seen a progression before, a progression is a series of movements, each one slightly more difficult than the last, that slowly over time increase your strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination. That's what we focus on at WeShape, teaching you, because that's what makes you feel better in your body. So if you're just recovering, you have that piriformis injury, you can do a staggered stance drinking bird. So I'm going to have basically this toe next to that heel, like normal width stance, right? Hands on hips. And all I'm going to do is hinge forward through the hips as far as I can until I feel the hamstring getting nice and tight. I don't want to round my back like this, right? Drive into that front heel, try to see if you can feel that butt muscle working, and squeeze your glutes as you come to the top, okay? And this is all you're going to do is inhale down, exhale up, and you're going to do this for about 60 seconds on the right side, 60 seconds on the left side. Now, the big thing here is we want to feel those hip external rotators as we do this. Like this, and you don't feel your butt muscles, the outside of the hip here, working. What you can do is this, watch. As you come up, think about rotating your knee outward like this. And when you externally rotate, you're going to force these external rotators of the hip to work a little bit more. You're going to feel those glutes working the way we actually want you to work them through, okay? If you can do this, then all you got to do is make the stance more narrow. So first step is wider stance. The next step is more narrow stance. Same thing, hands on the hips, and you're going to come forward and backward, really focusing on the glutes, okay? Now the next step, if you're able to do this for 60 seconds, is to come down, right? And then on the way back up, you're going to lift the knee up and extend the hips. What I mean by extend the hips is this. Don't stop here with the knee lifted up. Extend the hips nice and tall. Don't lean backwards. It's just nice and tall. Imagining like you're going to jump that way is kind of the goal here, right? So you're going to come back, tap the toe, up, extend the knee. Back, tap the toe, up, extend the knee, okay? The next step would be to do the drinking bird where you actually don't touch the foot on the ground. So that looks like this. I'm going to lift my knee up, and instead of bringing my toe back and touching the ground, I'm going to come down slow and controlled, keeping the hips square to the ground, finding my balance, and then coming nice and tall to the top position. This move right here, oh, most underrated move in fitness. I rarely see people teaching the drinking bird on one leg. You don't need any weights to do this. It's incredibly challenging if you do it for a minute on one leg. And if it's too easy still for you on hands on the hips, you can put hands on the back of the head or hands fully extended overhead while you do this. It's going to make it a lot harder for you. But if I had any sort of injury in the hip structure of my body and I wanted to recover, this would be my #1 move to practice. And what's great is this is a movement that creates flexibility in the hamstrings, right? The lower body on the back side of the body. It creates strength and coordination and balance and control in the glutes and the feet and everything. So go slow and controlled. Work your way through this progression I just showed. These progressions can take a long time to work through, so don't expect yourself to go, every day upping yourself to the next level. Imagine going up a level every 1 to 4 weeks, right? And then practicing it every day, 1 minute right, 1 minute left. You can do that a couple different rounds or throughout the day. That's going to really help wake up the muscles inside the hip that are going to make your body feel good again after that piriformis injury. Woo! All right. Let me get a little sip of water real quick. Ben behind the camera's laughing at me because I'm hacking up over here. I came home from a trip for my daughter's school and ended up getting sick. And then I was like, still got to do this live call. Let's make it happen, right? So, okay, next question. So if you guys have a question, remember, post your question in the comments below. I'm going to be going here for another probably 25, 30 minutes, answer as many questions as I possibly can. And if you guys are enjoying this video and you're getting some help from WeShape overall, I wanted to re-mention, we are doing a promo right now where you can save 65% off any WeShape membership. Link is on YouTube or Facebook. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, head on over to the link in our profile. We're going to put that 65% off link there of the day on Sunday, June 11th. So check it out, you guys. These are customized follow-along workouts you can do from the comfort of your own home. fantastic for summer. A lot of people neglect their body in summer, so their home workouts take 30 minutes or less, and you only got to do 2 a week to feel the difference. So click those links, check it out. I promise you guys won't regret it. I'll also do live calls there, so if you can see each other face to face, and I can help you troubleshoot some of these issues in person. So Instagram, is there an ideal time of day to work out? Should I wait to work out after a meal? I love these questions like this because I think everybody's looking for the magic solution. And like I said in the beginning of this, if you missed it, one of the things we're trying to do with WeShape is demystify all the crap you've been told in the fitness industry. Like, you have to eat at this time, and you have to eat this much protein after this, and blah, 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 blah. The reality is this. You don't need to do that. The majority of the results that people get from their workouts are this: doing a workout consistently and making sure your workout has progression, okay? What does consistently mean? I generally say that most people need to do 2 workouts per week at minimum in order to see consistent results, all right? If you're not doing 2 workouts per week, then absolutely you need to do more, all right? You need to find a way to find that motivation to be consistent. Our way to do that is we ask you your why. We say, why are you here? And you say, I want to lose weight. Okay, that's not motivational enough. Why do you want to lose weight? Well, my doctor says I have to lose weight. Okay, why is that important to you? Oh, because I don't want to die early. Oh, wow, why is that important to you? Wow, I don't want to leave my kids and my grandkids and my family without me. I want to be a good example to them. Now once you do that, that process of asking whys, now you've got yourself to a much better place. A place where you really feel like you're making an impact on your motivation on a meaningful level. You have a clear intention to show up for your workouts as that act of self-care, as a reason to show up for your workouts so you can live as long as possible, so you can live for the people that you love in your life, so you can be a great example for them. So if you don't have motivation, that's one of my favorite ways to do it. So the answer to the question about is there an ideal time of day to work out is real simple. The ideal time of day to work out is the time of day that you will work out, okay? For some people, that means, hey, I have a day that's packed, crazy packed schedule, and I come home at the end of the day and I don't feel like working out. Okay, great. Let's put it at the beginning of the day. Let's get it as your morning routine. Let's start there, right? And let's see if we can make that a habit. If that feels good to you, keep it. If it doesn't, maybe try your lunch break, right? One of the things that's amazing about WeShape workouts or bodyweight workouts in general is they take 30 minutes or less, and you can do them anywhere. You don't need anything to do them, just like some space, a floor, a chair, a towel. You should be good to go. So you try a lunch break if you wanted to. Or you could try coming home from work and doing that before you do anything else. Just come home, do your workout, take your shower, and then go spend your time with your family. So it's really important to try working out at different times and really see what feels best for you. And whatever feels best for you is the area in your schedule where it feels like it flows the easiest, where there's the least resistance, right? So if you put it in the morning and you're like, oh man, I can't get up in time to do this stuff, and then you put it in lunchtime and you're like, oh, that felt pretty good. You put it at nighttime, oh, I can't do this consistently. Well, then guess what? That means that the lunchtime is the time for you. So try some different stuff out, okay? And then as far as waiting to work out after a meal, a lot of people think of a workout like this. I'm going to show up to my workout so that I can pump my muscles and elevate my heart rate so I can burn a bunch of calories. And while the workouts we create at WeShape will elevate your heart rate and pump your muscles, that's not the focus. Our focus is teaching how to move your body the way it was meant to move, giving you the form cues that you need in order to move your body so it feels good. When you move your body better, you feel better in your body. And so the only reason to wait after a meal to work out is if you feel like that meal is not digesting. So if you eat your food and you go to do a workout and it's a hard workout for you and you're breathing heavily and you're burping and you're like, whoa, whoa, and that's preventing you from maintaining your level of focus and intensity in your workout, then by all means, you should wait after your meal to do a workout. But everybody's different in this one as well. I've met people who want to eat like a bunch of food and then go work out 30 minutes later. I'm not that person. I like to have an empty stomach when I'm working out. It's my personal preference. I don't want to be burping and indigestion and stuff like that. So just like the time of day, this is something you can try for yourself. Try different meals, try different times in between meals and working out, and see what works best for you. I think one of the biggest things that I want to teach people at WeShape is not WeShape is here to tell you what to do and be your guru. It's WeShape is here to teach you how to be your own guru, right? That's the big deal there, is when you can show up for yourself and start understanding, how does my body work? How does my body feel when I do X, Y, and Z, when I eat X, Y, and Z, when I do certain things? So really, take your health, take how you feel in your body into your own hands and experiment with it. And really simple, just pick something, try it for 2 weeks, and analyze the results. And then do something different, try it for 2 weeks, analyze the results. And you'll know which one's better when you try it this way, when you take your body and your own health into your hands and you treat it like a scientific experiment, right? Okay, let's go on to the next question, you guys. If you're just joining us right now, we're going to go for about maybe 20 or so more minutes. We're doing a Q&A. We're trying to make you feel better in your body and also about your body. That's another thing we like to do here at WeShape. So if you have any questions about movements, you know, I'm tight here, I have pain here, how can I fix X, Y, and Z? How do I get my head? Post them in the comments. My team's going to pull them from all the different platforms we're on here and post them in here. I got another question from Instagram. I think it's another sip of water, and we'll deal this one. Oh, sorry, YouTube. All right. YouTube, do you know anything to do for a pinched nerve in my elbow? My thumb and first fingers tingle and feel numbness. Okay, this is a really, really, really good question. I don't have a chart specifically for this, but I'm going to bring my pal Skelly over here. So when we talk about the spine and the discs related to the spine, basically what's happening is our brain up here is sending nerve signals all the way down our spinal cord, and somewhere in the spinal cord, those nerves are going out to different parts of our body that are going to help us out. Here, let me see that chart real quick. This will be fun to play with. This is a little bit of a blurry chart. We need to get a better version of it. But if you take a look at this, right, this is your spine, okay? Hopefully I'm back far enough. Good? Yeah, because this is your spine. All right, so this is the cervical part of your spine. This is the thoracic part of your spine. This is the lumbar part of your spine. Every section of your spine, all these little discs where these nerves come through, they relate to different areas of your body, okay? So cervical spine is going to be kind of like the upper back and neck. It's going to have a lot to do with any of the muscles kind of here and up, your neck, your eyes, your brain, like throat, etc., right? A lot of the finger numbness and tingling happens in this region right here, C4 through C7. So this is going to be like the upper back right here. This is going to be this section right up here, okay? And what happens is these nerves innervate the spine right here. So that means they come out of the spine, they go down, and they control all the muscles of the arm and the elbow and the finger. So when you say your fingers are tingly and you say your elbow is the issue, I'll bet you anything that if you go further up the chain, you probably have some compression in your discs in your upper back in that lower cervical section of your vertebrae. So how do we take care of this? I already showed people one of the most important things you can do for your spine is decompression. So again, if you have a kitchen sink, grabbing onto the kitchen sink, pulling your arms out like this, and just letting your butt sink back like that, it's really important for creating space and decompression in the spine. If you have trim at your house that's nice and thick, you can put your fingers over the trim or a pull-up bar, and you can hang like this. Now that's going to address a lot of the issues that you have with your spine, but sometimes the upper spine needs a little bit more there as well, right? So one of my favorite things to do, let me see if I can find this towel here. So one of my favorite things to do is you get a towel, right? If you want to stretch your neck by yourself and kind of get that upper spine area stretched out, is you take this towel and you wrap it around behind your head like this. I'm going to kind of show you on the couch in a kneeling position. You can do this on a countertop is probably the better way to do it. But basically, you're going to put this towel here. You're going to put your arms like this. And if you have a countertop, it's better. I'm going to do it like this. But you basically just drop your body down. The lever of your elbows and the weight of your chest to pull up on the neck. So you're creating a little bit of extension in the neck, and you're creating a little bit of lift on the neck, okay? So again, I think the best move here is if you have a countertop, something a lot higher, you'd put your elbows down like this, and you would drop like that, and you would use this to pull up on the spine and create space. So there's a couple options for you, but just decompressing the spine consistently every single day, ideally doing this like 1 minute, 2 or 3 times a day for at least 2 weeks, that might make all the difference on that finger tingling right there, okay? Another option for you is this. I'm going to grab a foam roller here. Foam rollers can be a great way to create mobility in the spine, so I'm going to show you how to kind of approach that. You put this on the ground, you can lean back on it, and then from here what you're going to want to do is find that upper back section right here. You can take your arms overhead if that feels okay on your shoulders. You can put them behind your back, or you can put them down here, whatever feels most comfortable. What we're going to do is this. Try to drop the area of the spine on this side of the foam roller, and then try to extend the area of the spine on this side. So we're trying not to do this. We don't want to lift the whole back over like this because that's not really creating flexibility. Instead, we want to do this. We're here, we're dropping the upper back, but we're keeping that lower back glued down. And then we kind of scoot up a little bit, and then we go up 1 vertebrae. We're dropping the upper back, but we're keeping that lower back glued down. Then we scoot up 1 more vertebrae. We're dropping the upper back, but we're keeping that lower back glued down. And if we slowly do that vertebrae by vertebrae, you might feel some pops, you might feel some adjustments that are happening naturally in the spinal area, and that's gonna be kind of the movement and the mobility we wanna create in the upper spine so that hopefully you can create more space between the discs, those nerves have space, and then the fingers stop tingling, you have better access to those muscles, your elbow feels better, et cetera, et cetera. Another option here too is if you have access to a really good chiropractor or a really good body worker, these are people, one of my favorite ways to spot a good body worker or chiropractor is the ones who don't want you to come back. If you go into the chiropractic office and they're like, we got to do a 60 plan like that, then they've just got like a business model in place that helps them run their ship. But if you walk into a chiropractic office and they do some body work on you, and they do some adjustments, and they're like, well, call me if you're still in pain, then you're probably in a decent place, because those people are just going to be, head and heels way better than everybody else, because they're trying to fix you and get you out of there. If they're trying to keep you in there, they probably don't have your best interests at heart, all right? So working with a great body worker is fantastic. Great chiropractor can be really fantastic too. So let's see here. We got about 15 minutes left, you guys. Thanks so much for joining this live call thus far. If you have questions, post them in the comments right now. I got a handful here that we're going to touch on right now, and we're going to see how many we can get done in the next 15 minutes. If this is helpful to you guys, then I highly encourage you to check out the deal we have going on over at WeShape. So WeShape creates customized at-home workouts for all of our members. We're not going to give you 1,000 different workouts to choose from like the Netflix of workouts. Instead, our software customizes your follow-along workout for you based on your skill level, your goals, your capabilities, your flexibility restrictions, etc. Okay? The goal was to turn your smartphone into a personal trainer, and that's pretty much what we've done with WeShape. So you can save 65% off all of our plans right now. There's some screaming deals over there. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook, click the link in the comments that we posted. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, head on over to our bio, click the link right there, get it done before Sunday, because that's when this promo is going to end. And also remember, we do live calls twice a week with me there, 2 times a week Q&A calls on Zoom, where you can ask me questions directly, you can unmute, we can go face-to-face, and I just try to help anybody who's a part of our community feel better in their bodies, no matter what, right? Okay, question from YouTube. Is there an exercise video that we can follow daily? There are too many short videos with exercises. Well, that's a great question. So, we've done a lot of shorts and mids and longs and specific things for people over the years. And one of the hardest things is that, we used to make a lot of workouts for groups of people. So we'd say, here's a lower body workout for beginners or whatever. The problem is that every beginner is different. Every intermediate person is different. Every advanced person is different. And so basically all of the workouts that you're going to find on YouTube, even like on Apple Fit, on Peloton, like a lot of these other brands, I'm not trying to like crap on anybody, but at the end of the day, if the workout wasn't created for you, if that person didn't say, hey, let me see what kind of squat you can do comfortably, or let me see how far you can bend down and touch your toes, and let me see how far you can put your arms behind your back, and let me see how flexible your hip flexors are. Let me see, all these different things. If somebody didn't ask you questions about what your current skill level is and give you a workout where the movements were tailored to you, then you're going to be doing things that maybe will get you some results, maybe will get you somewhere, but it's not going to get you as far as it will if the workout says, hey, I'm working on this area of your body with flexibility. We're trying to build strength in these ways. We're giving you this level of movements, and we have a clear path for you to go from where you are to where we want you to be in terms of gaining strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination so you can feel amazing in your body. So as much as I want to say you can comb through YouTube and you can go to this and you can go to that, I got to be honest, my favorite thing to tell people is go try WeShape. At the end of the day, we give a 30-day money-back guarantee over at WeShape, and we're running a 65% off promo. So if you want a follow-along workout that actually delivers, then at the end of the day, I just say click the link in the comments if you're on YouTube and Facebook. Head on over to our bio, Instagram, and TikTok. Click that link, and just try us out. Just give it a shot. Try the workouts out. I promise you, you'll be like, this is like nothing I've ever done before. We've spent so much time trying to teach people how to do each movement with perfect form so your body actually feels better, creating the ability for you to scale the difficulty of the movements in real time while you're following along to the workouts, which should feel like, I'm your trainer right next to you, and you're like, this is too hard. Okay, cool. Let's make it easier for you. This is too easy. Okay, let's make it a little bit harder for you, right? And then just creating the software that can create these customized workouts for you. Plus, there's so much more to it. There's community, there's live calls, there's all this amazing stuff that we do over there. So if you guys want to try it, you can save 65% off when you click on the link in the comments or in our bio. And like I said, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So just give it a shot. If it's not worth it to you, just cancel. It's not a big deal. And ask for any money back. So, all right. Instagram, I twisted my right knee 3 months ago and it still hurts when I go downstairs. Any suggestions? Man, I do have some suggestions for you. So it really sucks when we get an acute injury like that. We twist our knee. That's not fun. And going downstairs is one of the most challenging things for the quad muscle, okay? So grab me that book right there, Ben. I'm going to just, any book is fine. Oh, that one's good. Perfect. So one of the things we got to do when we have an activity in our daily life and it's hurting us is we have to try something different. We have to start training ourselves in that activity to make sure that we're not hurting ourselves. So if we talk about going downstairs, what we're doing here is this. We are loading the quad muscle. Most people just load the quad muscle and put a lot of pressure on the knee. If we're good, we load the hip muscle. And if we have flexible ankles, we can do this a little bit easier. But what you're doing is this. You're loading those lower body muscles. You're putting the weight on the opposite foot. You're transitioning, and you're switching sides as you go down the stairs. Now, what most people do is this. They just kind of fall forward and flop. And when you do that, you're putting all the pressure right here on the front side of the knee. And when we put all the pressure on the front side of the knee, we're forgetting like 60% or more of the strength on the back side of the leg. So if you have pain going downstairs, and this applies for anybody who has pain going downstairs, you might have like all kinds of people have these issues because of aches, pains, injuries, etc. Practice this movement. Get a book. Get something, it doesn't have to be as thick as this one either. It can be like 1 inch thick. And all you're going to do is this. Transfer your weight to one foot. If you need a chair for support, you can use that. Then the first step is this. Going to hinge through the hip. Real quick. Instead of going through the knee and keeping your torso really upright, hinge to the hip a little bit. So you're bowing forward and bending the knee at the same time. See if you can tap your heel in front of that knee and then slowly stand back up. This movement right here, done for 60 seconds, is one of my favorite ways to strengthen the lower body, all the muscles, the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, etc. And if you don't feel anything other than the quads working, then try to hinge a little bit more through the hips until you feel that glute muscle and that hamstring muscle helping you with that hip extension. So the way to think about it is this. Most people, when they go down the stairs, they're just using this movement right here, this quad muscle, this knee extension, and being able to do it what's called an eccentric contraction as they go down, so the negative, right? What I want you to do is this. I want you to think about moving through the hip. Moving through the hip. These muscles are so strong. These muscles are strong too, but not. Okay? So, over time, how do you work through this? Well, what I say is this. Get yourself a handful of books. Maybe something that works up to the size of a stair step, which is usually maybe 6 to 8 inches, right? So, for the first week, just do one book and just practice for 60 seconds on the right side, 60 seconds on the left side, just doing these heel taps like this, okay? Now, when you get through that first week, add another book and repeat the process. So you're slowly elevating the height of the step that you're practicing on, okay? Eventually, once you're the height of a full step and you've built a lot of mindfulness around how this should feel, how it doesn't feel like it's just fully loaded through the knee, but it's loaded through the hip as well, then you're going to go down the stairs and you're not going to move mindlessly. That's the other thing I hate about contemporary fitness right now is we try to get people to come in and do a workout and move mindlessly instead of teaching you how your body should feel when you move. This movement right here, this practice of just going down this one step is going to teach you how your body should feel. One more tip for all the knee pain people out there. Again, if we balance on one foot, we got to make sure that our belly button and our nose and our foot are in alignment. Right now it goes foot, belly button, nose. A lot of people balance like this, right? What I want is foot, belly button, nose, all in one straight line like this, okay? And then as we come forward like this, watch your knee. If you have knee pain, there's a pretty good chance your knee's going to want to cave in like this. What we want is belly button over nose. We want to make sure the knee doesn't cave in. So the knee's out a little bit. When you look down, your thigh bones go in the same direction as your toes. That's going to protect your knees more than anything else. So practice this movement, and then when you find a flight of stairs, don't just mindlessly crumble down them, right? Take your time. Go down those stairs slowly and make sure that you're feeling the muscles that you need to feel, because oftentimes people don't realize if all you do is practice just a little bit, right? Let's pretend you practice this for the next month, like I just said. And then every time you go to a staircase, you take your time. You walk down that staircase kind of slowly. Well, guess what? In about a month or two, all of a sudden, your mindless movement that you've been doing mindfully starts to become second nature. And as you repattern the way you move, not only do you protect your body, you heal those aches and pains, you strengthen all of your joints, you increase your strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination, and those are the attributes that make you feel good in your body. Because remember, when you move your body better, stronger, more flexible, better balance, better coordination, you feel better in your body. All right? So this is really important. Is everything that we teach is about learning to move your body the way it was meant to move, learning to feel your body, learning to drop into your body and how it should feel. All right? So hopefully that helps you out. That should be helpful for you if you really actually practice every day. 1 minute right, 1 minute left. Do that for a month. Try to elevate the height. I promise you it'll make a big difference. All right. Sip of water. We got a few questions left here. I'm going to try to answer these ones kind of quick, and then we're going to wrap up this Q&A today. Again, if you guys have enjoyed this call, if you've enjoyed any of the videos we create over at WeShape on our various social media channels, we're doing 65% off any WeShape membership right now with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you've been thinking about trying it out, or you're thinking, hey, summertime, I don't have time to go to the gym, well, guess what? You can get 2 30-minute home workouts in per week and feel a significant difference. If you're on YouTube or on Facebook, click the link in the comments. You can go check that out. If you're on TikTok or if you're on Instagram, head over to our bio, click that link, and check that out as well. All right. Facebook. The start's a little, so I want to reshape my body, I think. I'm 62 years old and out of shape completely. So, I just beaten this whole try WeShape out with a dead horse. So I'm not going to do that one on this comment right here. But I will try to give you some value here. When somebody's 62 years old, it's likely that you've built a lot of bad habits of movement, right? And so I think it's really important as you approach your workout routine, don't do mindless workouts. Every workout you do should be really mindful, meaning you're really paying attention to the movements, you're really paying attention to how they feel, you're really paying attention to, does this make my body feel better, worse, is it neutral? And the more we can be mindful about our movements, the better it's going to serve you as you get into your 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, etc., right? But that being said, at 62 years old, yeah, first of all, try WeShape. It's a customized workout. That's the best way to do this. But if you want to know like some basics here, right, there's really just a few things you can get good at that will make a huge difference, right? So I'm going to give you the first movement. First movement's called a sit to stand. It's basically a squat. It is the one movement that you never want to lose for your lower body. I swear this is the one movement you never want to lose, especially as you're aging. So it's feet turned outward, slightly wider than the hip width. Knees are tracking toes, right? I'm going to bring my hands in front of me. If I need to, I can put my hands on my knees for support. And what I'm going to do is shift my weight forward, but still keep it on the heels. I'm going to drive into those heels, extend the hips, and stand nice and tall. All right? So if I'm coming from a side angle like this, the one big mistake people make when doing a sit to stand is they go through the knees first and push the butt back first. Weights on the heels. We tap the butt, and we stand back up. Okay? So just literally sitting down on a chair and standing up with good form. Knees over toes, weight on the heels, flat back, not rounding the back forward, okay? So that's my first favorite movement for people. There's a lot of variations of this that you can do from beginner to advanced, like adding a hop if you want to have more cardiovascular output in there. But practice just a basic sit to stand. Use your arms and your knees for support if you need to. That's a fantastic way to do this movement. That's going to help almost your entire lower body, okay? So the next movement would be push-ups. Gosh, what a classic movement, right? But at the end of the day, the problem is that most people can't do push-ups. So how do you do push-ups? Well, I like to elevate the height. Right? So instead of doing a push-up on the ground or just dropping your knees, what you can do is elevate the height. So instead of doing it on the ground, you can do one on the couch like this, and you can do your push-ups this way, right? If that's too hard, well, you could have the side of the couch up here, or a countertop, or even all the way to the point where you're doing them on a wall. A wall is a great way to practice push-ups if you don't have the upper body strength or the core strength to be able to do a push-up with good form, okay? Now, while you're doing that push-up, a couple things to be really important to focus on, all right? So when you're on the push-up position, don't stick your butt out like this. Squeeze your glutes and squeeze your core. If you want to know how to do that, pinch your butt muscles together and cough. That's where I want your core and your glutes while you're doing all your push-ups. Another thing is, don't bring your elbows out like this as you go down. That's putting your shoulder in a compromising position. Instead, drop your elbows more towards your ribs, down like this as you do those push-ups, okay? Finally, stay tall to the top of the head as you do these push-ups, okay? That's going to help you maintain that length at the same time. So start with the wall. Then graduate down to like a countertop, and then graduate down to like maybe a couch or a chair, and then graduate down to the ground. That's how you build strength in the push-up over time, okay? So sit to stands and push-ups. Those two movements, honestly, are going to do so much for most people in order to build the strength they need to function in daily life that I feel like you could literally do nothing else other than those two things, and you'd get really, really, really far if you're consistent with them. So you want to put these into a workout. Simple way to do that would be this. Sit to stands, 60 seconds. Rest for 30 seconds, push up 60 seconds, rest for 30 seconds, repeat that 5 times. That whole entire routine will take you 15 minutes. 15 minutes. That's it. That's it. 15 minutes. You can get an amazing workout with just your body weight from the comfort of your own home in 15 minutes. Over time, make the sit to stand more difficult, make it faster. Don't use your arms for support, and make the push up more difficult by changing the angle, by slowly dropping your body. That simple workout routine, like I said, will get you so dang far, all right? So No excuses, anybody. You can get a home workout with just 2 movements, as long as you can find the motivation to show up for yourself. Remember, we're not showing up for our workouts because we're trying to change the way we look. I know that's the old paradigm. That's what we all used to think. We're showing up for our workouts because you're worth it, because your body carries you through your life everywhere you go, and it deserves to be taken care of, right? So why aren't we taking care of it? Because we're too damn focused on changing the way we look because of some societal construct of blah, 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 right? Forget all that. Show up for your workouts because you deserve to take care of your body. Your body deserves to be taken care of, all right? That's what we focus on here at WeShape. Okay, almost there. I'm going to answer a couple more questions here, and we're going to get this going, okay? I have high arch and flat feet. How do I particularly stretch out before I go walking? Okay, so this is an interesting question. If I were to want to like loosen up my feet before I went walking, one of my favorite things to do would be to get a exercise ball or a massage ball, right? So this could be like a lacrosse ball you order on Amazon for super cheap. I don't have one next to me, but all you do is take this thing, you put it on the ground, and you roll out the arches. You roll out the feet. You can, and if you don't have that, you can literally take your hands, put your hands on your feet, give yourself a nice little foot massage. The feet are just these amazing, amazing, amazing parts of our body. And what do? We take this amazing quality of the feet, we stuff it in a shoe, we make sure it forgets how to like fire the muscles, all this stuff, and we don't treat our feet very nicely. And so I think it's really important that we take good care of our feet. So anybody there, if you guys want to rub your own feet, you spacers at night, the same things you'd do if you had your toenails painted. Fantastic for creating space in the toes. Feet. Take really good care of our feet. And remember, a little while back I was talking about balance and how important it is. The feet are the feedback mechanism that creates balance in our body. So it's so important to practice balance, to do it barefoot, to take good care of our feet. So again, rubbing out the feet, doing a massage ball on the feet, fantastic. Do it every day. It's going to be one of the best ways to kind of loosen up the feet and make them feel good. Okay, got a question from Facebook. Bare feet or shoes for workout? I love it. We're going feet today. I get to talk about feet a lot, so it's kind of fun. So here's the reality. I just talked about feet and how we put them in shoes and we forget about them and we treat them lousy for our whole lives. And then we're like, why do they hurt, right? So here's the deal. If I were to tell you, like, go work out barefoot out the gates, that's probably irresponsible of me. Probably the best thing for me to say is that I think the goal should be to do as many things barefoot as possible that don't cause aches, pains, or injuries to your feet or to your lower body. So what does that mean? If you've been wearing cushy shoes for 50 years or 60 years, or maybe even high heels or things that just really mess up your feet, well, jumping straight into barefoot workouts and barefoot this and barefoot that, probably not going to be as helpful as it could be actually harmful. So what we want to do is we want to create a progression, just like we did with the movements that we talked about in this video. We want to create a progression. So if you have cushy shoes, we want to go to less cushy shoes, all right? So if you have big cushy Nikes or something like that, Nike makes a version called the Free. The Frees are going to be less of a heel to toe drop. They're going to be more flexible, and they're going to be a lot less cushy. And so going from your cushy shoes to those, wearing those an hour or so a day, and slowly over time working up to those being your main shoe, that's a fantastic way to work through it. Then after you get through the Nike Frees for another 6 months or so, then transition to more of a barefoot shoe. Now, I'm going to give them a shameless free plug here, and y'all can contact us when you want to get a sponsorship going. But Feel Grounds is my favorite barefoot shoe company. Why? Because they don't look like barefoot shoes. They look like kind of cool shoes, right? And these are my favorite red and white pair. But these are nothing, right? These are just basically a sock. They're pretty nothing. I mean, like, I think it's a 3mm sole or something like that. So this is my favorite pair of shoes to walk around in during the daytime. And then during my workouts, I do like to peel the shoes and work out barefoot as well. So again, take care of your feet. Over time, gradually reduce the amount of lift from heel to toe, the amount of cushion you need on those shoes, and that will help strengthen your feet. But also take care of them. Rub them, put them on the massage ball, do some toe spacers at night, and do some balance drills to really wake those muscles up and get them active again, okay? The feet are so important. If there's anything you want to focus on to feel better in your body, focus on your feet and your core or your posture, right? Oh my God, those things will make you feel so much better. All right. Birkenstocks. Okay, that's a good question. I think that Birkenstocks shape to your foot rather well, but I don't think that they have the lack of cushion necessary to actually get that ground feel. What we want is ground feel, right? If you're walking across the ground in a good pair of barefoot shoes like this, you're going to feel the rocks, the pebbles, the movement, everything like that. And that subtle change in the ground that you're walking on, and the need for the foot to adapt like real quickly to that, that's what awakens the innate intelligence of the foot. That's what awakens the muscles in the foot that are supposed to do what they're doing. The best way to see a foot work really well is go find a child who hasn't been stuffed into shoes their whole life. Most of them don't have the problem until they're maybe around 10 or 12 years old. But watch a child, they're going to walk, they're going to take a step with their toes spread out, they're going to grip the ground with their toes on every step. You're going to watch their feet act like hands, okay? So it's really fun to watch children doing steps and things like that, because you start to go, wow, look at what we've done to our poor feet, right? Your toes are supposed to be spread out, they're supposed to grip the ground, there's so many things on there, right? So, okay, let's jump in here. We got another question. I'm going to do this last question from Facebook. Okay. This one is, my right shoulder feels like someone is pulling it forward and twisting it and yanking on it. Any suggestions on how to get? I talked about feet a lot and how to strengthen them. I talked about posture, or I haven't talked about posture yet, and that's going to be a big one, okay? When we go throughout our daily life, we're going to end up with this type of posture where our shoulders come forward, our shoulder blades spread out like this, and we get stuck in this position. And usually that manifests as like pain in my upper back, pain inside my shoulder, lack of flexibility, being able to put my arms overhead. All of those things can be detrimental to us long term. So we've got to start creating space inside the shoulder capsule, okay? So how can you work on better posture throughout the day? How can we unlock those shoulders? Well, oh, you have pain up here? Stretch your arm like this. Now, that's the worst idea. Now, let me tell you why that's a horrible idea, okay? When your shoulder's forward like this, the muscles back here are long, and they're stuck in what's called a long, tight position. It means they're long, and they don't know how to contract to bring my shoulder back to where it should be. Now, the muscles on the front of the body, the chest right here, they're stuck in a short, tight position. They're lacking flexibility. So if all we do is this, we get temporary pain relief because we stretch that muscle, but then we stop. We might actually make the problem worse. We might make us have worse posture. So how do we do this? We want to stretch the muscles on the front side and create tone and strength on the muscles on the back side. My favorite thing is so simple. It's this. Throughout the day, set a timer on your phone to go off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, and just have it say posture. And when your phone's alert says posture, right, every couple hours, take your hands, put them behind your back like this, clasp them if you can. If you can't do that, you can just grab a little towel or like a washcloth, right? And what you can do is this. Drop your hands down, open your chest, look up at the sky a little bit, and just lift your arms back a little bit. All you can do is this little bit of lift. And over time, you'll be able to slowly lift more and more and more and more, and you're going to create flexibility in those shoulders. So you're going to create flexibility in the shoulders and the chest, and you're going to feel the muscles right here in between the shoulder blades firing. If you do this consistently throughout the day, posture, boom, constantly check your posture. It's going to pull you back into a more upright position and create more mobility out of the shoulders. Now, one more thing too is if we have this kind of issue here that you're talking about, it kind of sounds like you might have frozen shoulder. That can be helpful to go to PT and body workers who really are aware of this. But another drill was the one I already shared. This is my third time on the call sharing this. It's decompressing the spine and the shoulders. If you have a kitchen sink or a pull-up bar, it's just grab onto that kitchen sink, that pull-up bar, whatever, and just let your body drop back like this. Let the shoulders come all the way up. Sometimes when we let gravity pull those shoulders out of sockets, we can create a little bit of mobility in the shoulders. We can create the mobility to then put our arms overhead, pain-free again. And if we combine that with this movement right here, it's going to be so great for, again, creating that flexibility in the front side. Through a bunch of questions. It's 2 minutes on our live call. So thank you guys again, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Thank you so much for following WeShape, for joining us on this live call, for asking questions. If you guys want to give WeShape a shot, these are customized, follow-along workouts. They're only 30 minutes. You can do them from the comfort of your own home, plus access to our community, access to our coaching calls, access to our Learn series. We have special guests come in and talk about various topics that have to do with toxic weight loss culture and the cycles we've gotten trapped in. There's so much involved with WeShape that absolutely changes people's lives. And I promise you, if you give it a shot and you follow along to what we call the WeShape way, it will change your life too. So if you're on YouTube and Facebook, click the link in the comments right there, and it'll take you over to a page where you can save 65% off any of the memberships. Remember, you got a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try out any of the memberships you want, try out the workouts, join us on the live calls, try the community out, and if you don't like it, no problem. Just ping us. We have a US-based support team that can handle that refund and take care of you. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, head on over to our profile, click the link in our bio. This link is going to be there until Sunday. So get that done before Sunday. And again, thank you so much for joining us on this Q&A. I hope you feel better in your body based on some of this information. I'll see you guys next time.